Elimana from Cyprus, this is George. I'm just going to show off my mug. It says Carlos on it. For some reason, I think most of us are children, and when I go to Vegas, 99% of the time I went to Vegas in the last, I don't know, 10, 15 years. I've always taken my family with me, and this year my daughters decided that you should buy a mug for me with "Welcome to Las Vegas" and the name Carlos on top, because I do some impersonations of Spanish people, but sometimes. It's always nice to remember them. Right. Thought of the day. Actually, there's a couple of thoughts which, if you put them together, they may make sense to you. The first thought of the day is this: you have a certain bankroll, and you decide, all right, I'm gonna go 44 inside. Whether you're the shooter or somebody else is shooting. Dice go out. There's a result. 538. You get paid $14. Then the next time the dice go out, and it's a 6. So it's 2 dice rolls. My question to you is this, and it's a very simple question. What has changed in your decision making after those 2? Has your psychology to take risk changed? Because when this money was out, before any hits were registered, you were taking a risk to lose $44 inside. What changes your psychology after 2 hits? Is it the fact that you become more afraid? The dice have no memory, do they? Even if I'm the best shooter in the world, the result is going to be a 7 at the end. And the 7 will wipe out everything that you have on the table. So what changes somebody's psychology after 2 hits? Well, it's what we've been saying. It's money management. And when you put up this money, you are afraid. You're afraid that you're not going to collect anything, and in fact it's going to be 44 loss. But still, the question remains the same. Think about what has changed after 1 roll, 2 rolls, 3 rolls. Experience will teach you that there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. Maybe it's a long story or it's a short story. So experience will teach you that as quickly as you can get something out of this story, doesn't matter, it doesn't have anything to do with risk taking or whatever, and the amounts involved. The quicker you get something out of this story and then let the story develop, and you can watch it from a safe distance, let's say, because you know the ending, the better it is. That's the first thought of the day. The second thought of the day is this. Mel Lum Ho from Krapsa why I came up with this strategy called Stop the Bleeding. And it's bothering me, and I don't want to be negative about it. I think it's a very good strategy. But I had a couple of thoughts, and these thoughts are here. I would be willing, very willing, not to have any money on the 2 and the 12, even though they pay double or triple or whatever. The 3 craps and the Yo 11 are the ones that they really don't contribute to the conversation much. And having said that, I'm sure I'm gonna roll 50 of these and 20 of those. But these ones, yeah, I would bet on those. But I would rather have money on these ones here to stop the bleeding. I would basically have all the box numbers covered. And because we're talking about stopping the bleeding, I would actually invest a little bit more and have an inverse pyramid sort of build towards the 6 and the 8. Because it's the only way to have a good multiplier, basically. I was having a practice session with Mel yesterday, and he during our practice sessions, people mention things in passing and they just fly by, and then you play back the tapes and you say, yeah, that kind of makes a lot of sense. Everything here has a multiplier on it. It doesn't pay 1 to 1. This thing pays 1 to 1 mostly, apart from the 2 and the 12, which are very difficult to hit. I mean, you may have watched me before. The 2 and the 12, very, very randomly and rarely do we hit those. I'm not going against Midnight Madness's strategy here, but I'm just saying. These things here, the 3 and the 11, to me are what they call rubbish numbers. They are only good for ATS, I would say, or for the Dom Pass, or for the Dom Come. The 3 is actually good, the 11 is a destroyer. But basically what I'm trying to say is this: wouldn't it be better to have a bet which is more stable? It doesn't get lost, it doesn't cause any problems when you hit the 5, the 6, the 8. It doesn't give you a negative multiplier taking away from these 3 numbers, which are most commonly hit. It only has a positive effect on the 9, but you still have the chance to earn almost twice the 9. It's the biggest multiplier before the 10. So it actually pays the same as a 2 or a 12. And it gets hit 3 times every 36. They get hit once every 36. These are just some thoughts, that I wanted to share with you. Thoughts that you develop during your showers in the morning and things like that. That's 12. 24. 36. All right. I will switch on chat. See what's going on, if anybody's up. By the way, I don't consider myself a strategist. I would say my friends like Let It Roll, Mel from Crafts and Y is more inclined to do those things, 36-foot press. Vince Armenti. So, must have made a mistake here, sorry. Your channel. Oh, there's a couple of people up already. Oh, skill. Wood. No chickens tonight, no. Okay, let's just see what they're saying. Just pop out the chat. Close this big window. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Woody. Good morning, Skill. No chickens tonight? No, I'm afraid not. It's a bit of a more serious kind of discussion. I'll probably do my rolls and then have to head out to work. So, these are some of the thoughts that were on my mind. I'm sure that people have different opinions on this. But if you study consumer psychology, you will understand that there are certain things that we can pick up from that sort of behavior that we have. All right, haven't thrown a single die today. Just wanted to share everything with you. Dice out. $5-6 pitch. That's one axis. Dice out. 145. That's a point. Dice out. 4-2-6 off axis. Dice out. Postcards 12. We're just talking about you guys. Off axis. Dice out. 5-3-8. Secondary. Dice out. Well, that's a 4-3-7 on axis. Some people ask me, when you think that was a good shot. That was actually what I consider to be a very good throw, but it was a double pitch. So I was told that although I'm making an effort to place my fingers evenly across the dice, this finger here is not, it's a bit higher than it should, so I need to kind of be careful of that. Dice out. That's a 3-1-4 on axis secondary. Dice out. Heart 6. More like it. Don't need to stop the bleeding because I don't put myself in that position as much as a different player that wants 4 or 5 hits versus my 1 or 2 hits. That makes all the difference in the world. It does, but at the same time, there has to be, even there has to be a balance. Is it going to be 1 hit? Is it going to be 2 hits? Is it going to be 3 hits? Do you have the time to recover a loss? Because casinos are playing the long game, whereby there's certain factors into an equation. One of them is time, and they use time in their advantage. 3, 2, 3, 6 dice out. 4, 5, 9. I had this conversation a long time ago. A friend of mine, he's what I would say a high roller, and I mean real big money. And he was telling me he's not a craps player, but he was telling me that he had a conversation with his host, and he asked them this question. Good morning, Sumi. Good morning. He asked them this question: who are you afraid of the most? And the answer of the host was very simple. We're afraid of the big whales who step in, place a bet, which is a really big amount. They hit the bet, whether it's roulette, whether it's baccarat, whatever, get up and leave. So that actually does not give the casino enough time, and I stress the word time, to get their money back. I can relate to that on so many levels. I think there's a guy from CEG who was saying that he won 24,000 playing craps one time, and that was the last time he played craps. He never gave the casino a chance to win it back. So, good morning, Freud Thunder. So, basically, yes, time is actually what goes against any casino's philosophy, methodology of making money, things like that. So it's not the decision making per se, but it's time that you need to be aware of. It's not the decision making or the risk taking, as opposed to the time that you're there. Dice out. 5, 4, 9. better. I'm sorry I'm taking my time here. All right, dice out. Hard 8. That's a primary. So I don't know, it seems that in the mornings I get, I'm not speaking too soon, but I get better in health rather than at night when a lot of things have happened. Mind is more relaxed, I guess. Dice out. Heart 10. First with its name. That's probably the top. Yeah, it is. No, maybe not. We had a 7. We have a 4-3. So, sorry. Dice out. 6-5 here. Oh, sorry, 5-6 here, which is secondary. We can use wings again. What do you think? Although this is not the time to actually discuss this, but yes. I think the analysis there is almost correct, but you can only hit one number at a time. Therefore, the risk of the 7, if you're going to talk statistics, the risk of the 7 is higher with regards to any other number on the table. So you can only have one result, and the 7 can be hit with a 1, with a 2, with a 3, with a 4, with a 5, with a 6. So that is a problem. Dice out. That's a 2-4-6 secondary. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 4, 7. Okay. Dice out. 5, 4, 9. Dice out. 4, 1, 5. Secondary. exactly, this is my point. You have to accept that, any solutions to that, you have to accept the risk. There's considerable risk when you're out there. Therefore, people have designed different strategies to stay off for a couple of rolls until the shooter gets acquainted with the table and his dice. Kind of protects you. But again, this is, doing stats, which are statistics. Look, statistics are based on a lot of results. And the problem with that is that you will never be at a table um, as long as it takes for the statistics to kick in. So, doing a 5 count, a 2 count, a 3 count, whatever, it's just up to you. What I do is I judge people whether their numbers are coherent, whether I can see what sort of set they're using and what sort of result they're getting, whether that's consistent. That's a 549. So for me, it's not. I'm not at that point where I can say I'm going to hit this number and get to it. I cannot do that, right? And I admit to it. It's not a bad thing to admit to the level that you are, but can certainly try and fix some of the mistakes I make. Dice out. Six, 3, 9. That is off axis. 9. And an issue with the left die. Dice out. We fixed the left eye, we destroyed the right one, 257. I really do believe that if you bet bigger at first and regress, that's 2 hits or 3 hits, and then going to minimum bets, then pressing up is a good way to go. But it's if you can stomach that much risk. Well, very, very true. Very true. And that is psychology as well. The psychology of realizing that you're confusing two things which have an effect on each other. I will explain. Let's say you put 22 inside, which is the minimum of minimums, I would say. And the 6 hits. You get paid $7. Now, I want you to try and imagine one thing, that you don't have any money and the 6 hits. It's just an event. The number 6. Does it make a difference what money is on the table? It's a number, it just hit. Whether it's big money or small money, it just hit. Then you couple that with the fact that if you're gonna bet big, most probably you're not going to do it with random shooters, are you? So you're going to take this pressure on yourself. That's where things get complicated. Because of your unwillingness to take pressure on somebody else, and you're willing to take it on yourself, My actions, my decisions, my losses, my rewards. Basically, that's what you're doing. It puts pressure on you to perform. It's performance anxiety, which I think I talked in one of my videos a long time ago. And in order for you to get over that performance anxiety, the only thing that gets you through that is practice. Practicing at home with bigger amounts that you're going to bet at the casino. And not only that, that doesn't stop there, because you actually have a long game at the casino. Your long game is your whole session until you walk out that door. So you need to say, well, okay, let's assume that I took a loss here. What do I use to recover that loss? How do I get back? Or another decision. I'll walk away. I took my chances, lost X amount of money on the come out, or after the point was established, I stop, I walk away. These are decisions that you need to have had thought about before stepping up to the table. And you need to be disciplined and follow through with whatever you have practiced. If not, it's just going to be a very bad show. Three, 2, 3, 6 dice up. That's a 4, 6, 10. That is secondary. That is our new point. Need to put them down. The pickup was not that great. Dice out. Alright. Yeah, 5, 2. I'm not going to say it's a 5, 4, it's a 5. I wasn't happy with the grip. Let go once, picked them up the second time. Wasn't happy the second time, but that is no excuse. Dice out. That's a 3, 4, 7 double pitch on the come up. Let me just measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 6, 8, 10, 11, another 3. Dice out. 1, 2, 3. Heart 4. Off axis 4. No, in fact, practicing helps. Alcohol does not help. If I can just say that out loud. If you're a person who is practicing, the last thing you want is something to impair whatever you've been practicing. You need your faculties to be very sharp, I would say. That's a 1 for 5. Just imagine, I think I have something like 500 videos or more practicing sober, and imagine walking up to the table with a couple of drinks inside me. 3236. That's it. That's a 516. That is primary. That's out. Hard 4. That is the point. No, assuming I didn't say anything, I didn't, imply that that you do anything else. I'm just saying, for the sake of this conversation, I think, the waitresses, they come by and they try to intoxicate us. I just have water. That's out. That's a 268. That is primary. That's out. Box class 12. Another one for my friend Midnight Madness. Most of the time I play sober only if we are staying the night over there. Have some drinks, okay. That's out. Five, 3, 8. That's the point. And it's a secondary, which is nice. That's out. .560 go. One axis down pitch. And we're currently at the 50% mark, I think. That's 18 on axis, and we have 18 out of 30, I would say. That's out. Two on three crabs. That is a double pitch as well. Dice out. Ace 2-3, which is a drift. I think I said that, you know, I'm gonna get in trouble for this, for saying bad things about the three craps and the Yo 11s. Let's get a point. Dice out. That's it. 4-2-6 off axis 6. Sorry guys, I wasn't paying attention. On axis hits today, awesome man. Thank you. I think it's time to call in sick at work and go make some money at the casino. Never break protocol. It's part of the discipline. If you plan to go to a casino on a certain day, don't go before that. You know, get hungry for it. It's very important to keep the discipline in all aspects. I think so anyway. All right. Dice out. That's a 1-4-5. Off axis 5. Dice out. It's a 6-4-10. Off axis 10. Dice out. That's a 2-4-6 secondary. It was very flat, I think, the way I threw the dice. They have to roll 2, just like the other numbers. Yeah, 2, true. You're talking about 3 craps, 2-4-6. It's primary, and that's the 36. 2, 3. 3, 2, 3, 6. Dice out. That's a 2, 5, 7. Why did that happen? I had interactions. Okay. So that's a come out. Been very fortunate. Dice out. Boxcars 12. Still no point. My friend Midnight is going to be buying dinner, so for everybody. Dice out. Two, 6, 8. That's nice. That's a primary. Dice out. 4, 5, 9. Implosion of my right die. Dice out. Oh, I pushed those. I pushed them with my thumb, even in the air. I knew. 4, 3, 7. Good part is that it was double pitch, but still. All right, and that's that, guys. Okay. So let's measure how many we've got here. 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 12, 14, 17, 20, 23, 26, 28, 30, 31, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 41. Why does it have to be always some weird number? All right, so 41 divided by 4, it's 10.25, I think, for my SOR. And divide that by 6. If it was 42, it would have been 7. So I'm at 6.8333, something like that. Anyway, so let's see how we did inside first, which is, the most important thing. 4, that's 10, 15, 18, 21. Just beat the 50%. Nothing special. I think we did okay on the 4 and the 10. They performed as they should. Maybe perhaps a little underperformed, but that's okay. Okay, this is worrying. I promise not to make another, video about the Yo 11s and the 3 craps. So we had 3 12s, which would make my friend Midnight Madness buy dinner. Yo 11s, I don't know anybody who bets on that, but yeah, okay. 2 3 craps, no aces. So no ATS whatsoever within 36 rolls. We don't care. Maybe there was something in terms of a 12, but I'm not sure. I wouldn't put money on that. Let's see how we did with on-axis hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. We exceeded the 44% by a significant amount, I would say. 22 divided by 41, that's 53.65%. That's 20% better than expected. So basically all that is saying is that we are not random. Of course, take care soon. Sorry. So we did okay, and these are some of the KPIs that I use. These are some of the KPIs that Bone Tracker actually uses to establish whether somebody has dice influence on the dice or not. I would never call myself a dice influencer, because if I were to do that, I would need to have a consistent like 60% on axis, something like that. That's what I think should happen. Basically more than 55%. So yeah, that's the story so far, guys. I would like to thank you. I do enjoy your company. I'm sorry at the end I was kind of focusing a bit more on the dice setting and you know, all that. Okay, so it's 10 past 9 at the moment. So I'd like to say thank you again. Skill luck. Sumi. Woody, I think he was in the house. I don't know whether he's still here. Have a great Friday. I'm hoping that people will join us on Sunday on Live Fantasy Crabs. Let's see what happens there. This is George from Cyprus. Probably see you later on tonight. Thanks.